All right, how is it going, my magnificent sons of bitches? And I wanted to come back and do a little bit of a video. This is going to be a really, really quick video. I'm not going to stay here that long. Ultimately, my phone doesn't have that much time on it, or it's not fully charged. But I kind of wanted to go ahead and do a video. I saw the movie Left Behind: Rise of the Antichrist. It's absolutely brilliant. It's by Kevin Sorbo, and I can tell you it's a really fun movie, and I think it's a formula that a lot of other movies. It's a blueprint for I think the directions that films should probably go. Kevin Sorbo does a lot of what a lot of the leftists will end up calling trolling in this movie, but it's actually pointing out the obvious. Uh, it had a lot of great lines in it. The characters were really good. And if you've seen the Left Behind series, which I think that a lot of people that would be interested in this movie particularly, it doesn't deviate a lot from the Left Behind series. Now, as far as Christian sci-fi goes, I don't believe any of the stuff that's in this movie as far as like end times and stuff like that. I have my own beliefs as far as what I think is, coming into fruition about the end time. But this is a still a good quality movie, and pretty much these movies that have the Christian overtone, um, they're going to have a positive message. You know what I'm saying? And so I watched this movie and like a lot of the deliveries, and you hear Joyanne Reed and Cenk Uygur and all the leftists say we're going to get into wet Christian nationalism, and the Christians are, and there's always this uh, freaking cathartic ramblings from the left that is talking about, the Christians are the problems and whatnot. You hear this a lot on MSNBC. Nobody really watches it, and whenever you look at the algorithms, nobody's buying into the bullshit. You've already lied so much that people no longer take you seriously, and you have a very, very, very marginalized audience of maybe 0.6% of the population that watches your crap. For TYT, it's much lower. But I think that this is exactly why Christians tend, and like I said, right now we see a lot of the people that are, um, unbiased atheists. As far as whenever I say unbiased, I mean not politically connected. The more politically unconnected atheists and agnostics probably have had it up to here. How's it going, Scott? But they've probably had enough of your bullshit as well. So, like I said, this was a pretty fun movie that Kevin Sorbo did with this Left Behind movie. Like I said, you'll hear a lot of stuff in this movie that you'll be able to identify with, and I think that this is exactly one of the reasons why, whenever you're looking at the internet and society right now as a whole, that whether I agree with the evangelical Zionist Christians, which I rarely do, to be honest with you. Um, as a Christian myself, I just don't agree with those extremities, those parts of Christianity. With that being said, the reason why Christians seem to be more acceptable on the internet is because they can go ahead and identify the truth and point out the truth. Whereas the left, they don't have that. The secular left and the atheists that are, they can't do that. Everything that the left does is pretty much cliche at this point. They browbeat, use the same old tactics, and they have to get you to go ahead and accept their delusions as some form of reality. Whereas you have a guy like Kevin Sorbo who puts out a movie where he just kind of identifies just made steak and fries on my air fryer. They were delicious. Yeah, and I got some free Mexican food that I'm fixing to go chow down on. Um, but like I said, whenever you watch this Christian content, there'll be a lot of stuff in this movie if you decide that you're going to go watch it that you're going to be able to identify with. And that's one of the cool things that I liked about this movie is that the characters were kind of relatable in a lot of ways. And some of the lines that they delivered kind of spoke to where we're at in society. A lot of the stuff that they use, you know, whether it be Davos, uh, we've heard every day they use dialect that you're going to be able to be familiar with. And they kind of correlated into this, what I like to call Christian sci fi. How's it going, Stephen Rose? And whenever I say that there are times when the movie has these dark scenes, they're really covering fake news for cheap views and subs. Um, yeah. Um, and ironically, it actually mentions that in the movie. Actually, fake news, pretty much quite a bit. To be honest with you, in the movie. So whenever you look at the movie and whatnot, like I said, the movie in and of itself and the thought process of the futurist view is not really, it's not pragmatic. It doesn't line up with scriptures really well. However, the movie in and of itself is kind of fun. For a Christian sci-fi movie, it's pretty good. Um, who do you have WWE Super Bowl going to? Oh, yeah, I think it's going to be the BLM Bowl. It's going to be the BLM Bowl. We see the little race baiting that they're doing right now. So I suspect it'll be Jalen Hurts versus Pat Mahomes in the Super Bowl, and you're going to hear, "Oh, this is the first time in Super Bowl history in racist football that there was two black quarterbacks, and this is such a travesty." And that's what you're going to hear That's what you're going to hear on the news. It's going to be the BLM Bowl, and it's funny because people still go ahead and cling to the NFL like it isn't complete fucking kayfabe, but it is, and we can sit there and see that they're setting it up for the BLM Bowl uh, and Kel's Super Bowl. Yeah, that's probably what it's going to be. Jalen Hurts won. I already suspected this. They've thrown out little key indicators that this is the direction. The Eagles and Andy Reid, and yeah, maybe I think that I'm going to pull for the Eagles. I guess because they're in the division, and that'll be their second Super Bowl. So our division will be pretty fucking stacked with Super Bowl titles once they get their second Super Bowl. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. I did want to go ahead and say I highly suggest it. You're probably not gonna be able to see it right now. It was in Fathom Event Theaters, marginalized audience. But I do highly suggest when it comes out, renting, buying, just for fun. And you might want to. This is actually a continuation of the Nicolas Cage Left Behind movie. So I do definitely suggest that you go check out Left Behind: Rise of the Antichrist. It was pretty solid. It was a really really fun movie with some of the lines delivered. Even one of the main characters is kind of set up to like a Tucker Carlson type character. You'll get a kick out of him a little bit, particularly if you're kind of an independent and you've been on the internet for a while and you know exactly the dialect that they're using and the stuff that they're using and the stuff that they're pointing out. You're going to be like, oh yeah, I've heard of that. So it just makes it a little bit more fun to watch, and you can go ahead and kind of escape in this movie that, while it has its dark moments, ultimately it's, one of those movies that you could watch and just, take a break from everyday life, because you watch these movies and you go in and see a movie and you end up coming out of the movie more depressed than when you went in to go see the fucking movie. And nobody really wants that right now, especially in today's society. So, anyways, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. You people tell me what you think. Like, sub, do the shit YouTube tells me to do to get over. And here's Kels brothers. One play for Chiefs, Travis, and the other for the play for the Eagles, which I guess would be Jason. So, but yeah, we all know it's kayfabe. We know that the NFL is kayfabe. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the BLM Bowl. So yeah, it's going to be funny. The Kels Bowl, they'll probably use that too. It's not about getting a good team in there, having good action on the field. It's about little storylines that they could tell on ESP Spin, whatever the hell, and stuff that they can go with in the generic media that is. They don't care about your entertainment. They don't care about your product. Everything's kind of cheapened now. So yeah, it is what it is. But anyways, I'm gonna wrap this video up. You people tell me what you think. Like, sub, do the shit YouTube, Facebook tell me to do to get over. And for now, I'm out.